don't have a pen.
Open.
Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
This is Delightful Dylan.
That's not true. Welcome to yet another episode of our Ultimate Spirits Competition, our quest to review every sipping spirit on the face of the planet and subject it to our crazy hard 100-point scoring system. And in this episode, Jack Daniels. Wait for it. Bonded. New Jack Daniels.
New Coke?
New Coke.
We'll see.
Well, you like Jack Daniels. What are you talking about? Isn't that your favorite drink?
It is my favorite bourbon.
Oh, controversial. Yeah, I know you like it so much that we do have a Jack and seltzer for you, Dylan. There, you can drink that. I know you love the canned cocktails.
Wait a minute. Is this this is seltzer.
Yeah, you love seltzer and you love Jack. It's the perfect combo for you.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll try it.
All right. You want to give the audience a taste as he throws it away? All right, guys. So Jack Daniels Bonded again. Yes, this is a new offering from Jack Daniels. And I don't know much about it other than this, a bonded version of Jack Daniels, which means it's been aged at least 4 years and it has to be 100 proof and have been aged in a government bonded warehouse, blah, blah, blah. You guys all know that probably, but let's take a look at the bottle. Look at that. Aged in select barrels for added depth and character, bottled in bond, 100 proof. And then the side there, they've got a little bit about what it means to be bottled in bond. Do you guys think that this is going to be much different than regular Jack Daniels or some of the other Jack Daniels special offerings?
Maybe, but I think the
Should be, shouldn't it?
Well, I want to mention like the elephant in the room, though. Okay, I don't know if they did this because they wanted to create a new flavor profile, or if they did this so they can slight all these other companies that source their liquor from other companies. Because in when I was looking through like their PR releases and advertisements and things like that, there's this like little subtle dig at companies that do not produce their own like distillates and age things. They say, oh, the bonded things can only be done by companies that make their own juice, that they can make their own spirits. And then they actually went out and went out of the way to say, companies that source their stuff can never say that they can do things like this. And therefore
They're special.
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. That's all I read. I just read the
byline.
Yeah, I was like reading between the lines. It's like, one of those conspiracy theorists where you have to look at the letters that they don't use in the newspapers,
so
and
like
they start
Z.
Yeah, they just start talking to you, right?
Zed.
So yeah. So anyway.
All right. Well, enough of that. Who cares? Let's taste it.
Spoiler alert. Jeez.
Let's taste and get our scoring going, guys. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so as we're tasting and scoring this, I should mention to our members of Curiosity Private here on YouTube or over on Patreon, we're going to do a head-to-head taste-off between this new Jack Daniels Bonded and one of the most expensive Jack Daniels bottles that exists, Jack Daniels Sinatra. So again, if you're a member of Curiosity Private, you will be able to see that bonus footage. If you're not, and you want to see footage like that, hit the join button down below, consider joining, or head over to Patreon and you can join there. If you don't, who cares? You'll get to see the rest of this review in just a second. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Me too.
I want to talk through this one. This was a very interesting experience for me.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we've had some time to taste. We've all scored this independently. We haven't discussed our scores at all. We're going to do that right now. But first, Jules here is going to tell you guys about our scoring system.
That's right. 10 categories. Over 100 points. That include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. Now we do weigh flavor more at 20 points, and then aesthetics and value at 5 points each. Oh, And you can score in our competition. You can score at 16 above. I feel like the Dutch is looking at me. You can go from bronze, silver, gold to diamond. He's rolling his eyes.
You have to read it every time.
I don't remember anything.
All right, guys, let's get our initial scores. Of course, this could change as we talk about it because we will have a discussion about
A
this.
lively debate.
Maybe unless we agree on everything. My initial score? 77.
65.
I don't know what is going on. I got it at 76.
Oh.
Yeah, we're very close. Okay, what is up with Jules here? This is weird. I thought this would be Jules' jam, actually.
I don't know. I mean, his scores are all over the place.
Yeah, you never know if you're
like-
going to get positive Jules or negative
Yeah,
Jules.
things are like.
If it's going to be a thumbs up,
All you will get
thumbs
for
down.
sure. You will always get market corrections.
It's just terrible.
we should mention, speaking of market, what's the price point on this?
I don't know. How much do we pay for this?
You bought it, dude.
It's $30, I think.
Must be 30.
Yeah, it's about 30. All right, let's start with Aroma 6.
6.
You guys are weird. I gave it an 8.
I originally had a 7. I know where you're coming from, but it was too one note for me. Ultimately.
What is the
Thank you.
one note?
Maple?
Yep.
No.
What do you mean no? It's all maple.
No.
Nothing else.
No.
All right, we'll school us. Let's go. Why should I go back up?
There's no bouquet here.
You know what I like about this aroma? It reminds me of certain types of the barrel proof, barrel select releases where you have that vanilla. Now that I've tried the Coy Hill and the various releases of Jack, did we do a Jack Daniel's drink through?
Yeah.
Okay, so from kind of that experience, you can see the different kinds of aromas you can get. This is very vanilla forward. I think much more so than the standard Jack. I think you get a lot of that in some of the barrel proof, barrel selects. I thought it was very pleasant, and then it builds on it. You get the molasses. You get a little bit of that wood. I think there's a little bit of that fruit in there, a little bit of the jam. So I thought it was very pleasant. I don't know where the 6 is coming from.
I agree it's very pleasant, but to me, it just, I really... Okay, the reason I originally had a 7 was, I started baseline 5. Let's say, do I go up or down? I go up. It's pleasant, like you said. And then all I got was maple. Only tasting note I can pull out of this is
Let
maple.
me just say how...
I'm not getting any vanilla.
Well, let me just say how hypocritical Dutch is, because if you go back to his seagrass review, like basically the aroma is truly one note. It smells like the cake urinal at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. And yet, he thought, there's
nice
a
guy
complexity.
Dylan.
Nice guy
Remember,
Dylan, go
he
on
has
well.
a nose handicap
I have a
here.
nose
Come
handicap.
on.
Oh,
So
sorry.
you should be talking to Jules.
Nice guy. It's not nice guy. It's delightful Dylan. Delightful Dylan.
Even
Okay.
worse.
So,
Because there's no delight.
but yeah, I don't get your 6. This should be your jam.
I agree with you there. To me, like, this was a nice, sweet nose that
it's
Jules
just-
should love.
I don't get it. 6 is just like what was the one?
I started
point?
like Dutch, baseline 5, and then I'm seeing where I'm gonna go from there. And it was pleasant, but it was very one note for me.
Yeah, very one
I didn't
note.
get any vanilla.
The maple is so
the
predominantly...
maple syrup.
It's
That's all.
good, and that's why I am tempted to go up to a 7, but I don't know.
I'm not getting a floral component.
Instead,
I'm
you
not getting
just
the
tried to
berries.
insult me, so I'm definitely not going to go. All right,
He didn't try.
let's
Try.
move
I
on.
didn't try.
Let's move on to flavor.
I had to defend you, Dutch.
I like to be straightforward.
Let's move on to flavor. Initial score 17.
Ooh,
I thought it was excellent.
it was good. 14.
I gave it a 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14, dude. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
mean, counting off the flavors. Okay, maple. There's a thinned out honey. There's almost like a lemon citrus
honey.
component
No.
lying underneath it there. There's a light spiciness. I was very impressed with the number of flavors that I could pull out of this.
That's probably why, because I only got like 2. So at least the maple carried over, and I got some spice, but that was it.
No, dude, there's so much going on here.
I
much.
would
So much. You only named 3 things.
No.
4.
Here, I'll fill that in.
All
So
right.
I disagree.
Oh, here we go. Here's a list of 20.
I disagree a little bit
20
about the
minutes.
honey part, but so I thought
Oh, no, thinned out honey.
okay. So I wrote missing honey, but I guess maybe you got a little bit of somewhere.
Well,
I thought there was a lot of molasses. and that carried the spirit. I really felt like it was the foundation in which it was built on, and then you get that like delightful vanilla that comes in. I thought there was, I think it's because of the age, but you get the grain. You get the grain component for there.
Very little.
I didn't like the fact that it was missing a lot of that honey.
Yeah.
And I think that filtration tries to make up for that. Mm-hmm. And to me, that comes off as a little bit synthetic. And so that's why it's not 17, 18, 19. I give it a 16 because I thought it was a good core built on molasses. And I just find that the vanilla that I usually see in the Barrel Select, the Barrel Proof, also is present in this. And I feel like this is a cheaper alternative.
Agree with
and
that.
for people who can't drink like that high 130 proof Jack Daniels.
I mean, at the end of the day, I was kind of shocked with how many flavors I got. I mean, like, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Very impressed. Jules,
I was hoping I'd get more.
Explain your 14. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I actually wrote no honey on here. Not like, and then again, just so you know, I got maple.
But that doesn't mean there's other flavors.
But I didn't. That's the thing too. Like I was hoping I'd get something like other than the maple and the spice, but that was it. So I'm not getting. I wish I got the vanilla.
There's definitely vanilla.
Definitely, there's definitely something like that in there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
There's a lot in there, man.
I don't think that's fair.
I don't either. I think
that's fair.
My baseline for this actually was 12.
I think you have to go up to at least a 15.
I agree with you there. There's too much going on here. There's too much flavor. I mean, maybe for regular Jack Daniels, but everything here, this is much louder. And just for how clear and distinct the flavors the maple is, at least
it is distinct.
No, you have to go up. You have to go up.
It's got to be at least on the 15. For how clear that
is? At least a 15. No, you have to. We're not moving until you raise that.
In that regard, I am holding.
No. You're not like me. You're not like me. You're fluid.
You're better than this.
Dan, you know how to get. You're better than Dylan. Yeah, you're right. 15. Let me agree.
See, I know how to manipulate.
Oh, jeez, fine.
Okay, well,
1 point.
Before he has a chance to think about it, let's move on to body. I was almost so surprised by this. I gave it a 7.
Oh, okay. I gave it an 8. I was also surprised.
I gave it a 6.
I think that's what you pay for.
It really hits the palate.
I think that's what you pay for.
I'm really impressed with it.
It's almost borderline thin, guys.
No. Okay.
Yes.
I need to try regular Jack again. Your baseline
maybe that's
is way
why.
off, dude.
I want to explain here. Better mouthfeel than regular Jack. And I was like, whoa. Because this is $30, right? And you're talking about, there's just a shelf full of regular Jack.
Right.
Why would you grab this, right? Why would you grab this? I'll tell you right now. This is the mouthfeel. Mm-hmm. This is the mouthfeel in vanilla. If you don't want to listen to the rest of this whole stuff, mouthfeel vanilla. If you want that, this is what you pick above the regular Jack Daniels.
You're not getting much on the mouth, huh?
No, it's borderline thin. Like I said, I just tried it again, guys. I don't know how you're getting like this. You make it sound like this velvety goodness. It's not that at all.
I actually don't think it's an 8. I think it's really good for what it is, but it's still
it's good for what it is. But like that means just up like slightly above the rest.
Look, full disclosure. I once had to try the Jack Daniels honey. That the flavored one, and I vomited all over.
I think we were with you.
Melrose Avenue. Yeah. Anyway, and so I Jack Daniels, I have this like hate love relationship, and so I'm not going to be completely biased and say, I'm like a fanboy, but this I gotta say is a nice alternative. This is an alternative that's not too weird, synthetic.
That's nice.
Really agree. Let's move on to complexity. I waffled here a little bit. I ended up at a 7.
Me too. I actually gave it I gave it a 7 as well. Let me start there.
Yeah, I gave it an 8. I think I can be convinced to go down 7. Yeah. I think there's a lot, but then I think the maple.
Let me tell you the reason
maple's really strong.
The reason I was
the
actually
spice is nice.
Considering going up, and I originally had an 8, and I've been waffling, is that there are clear sweets and there are very clear spices.
Yeah.
And there is some fruit mixed in there, and there's elements to the sweet that's not just one note, because there's the maple, there's the spices of the vanilla, and then there's some spicy spice, like a rye spice in there. I don't know. I'm almost talking myself up to an 8, and you're talking yourself down to a 7. Why are you thinking to go down?
I mean, I feel like this is, one of the things that I thought about, when I was drinking this is that this might pair really well with a dessert pastry, in that it just invokes that kind of like vanilla frosting and a lot of sweetness and things like that. And so because of that skew, you're not getting the kind of the breadth of the fruit component. You're getting a lot of the sugars, and variations of sugars, but you're not getting the breadth of fruit. And therefore, I was thinking about going down on that.
That's fair.
So I think I'll go down to 7.
All right. Well, let's move on to balance. And I'm actually just changing my score for balance because I originally had an 8. I do go down to a 7 because...
Give
of everything we said. 7?
I give it a 7, yeah.
What do you give it?
I give it a 6.
I mean, it's
so one-sided, guys. It's seriously only on...
I disagree. I think if you just strip this down to spice and sweet, I really like the way that's presented. It's not ideal
it's
because...
more sweet than spice, though. It's more sweet than spice.
Yeah, I mean,
that means
that's
it's not balanced.
I don't know. To me, if it's off balance, that means that you can't even pick up the other one, or the other one doesn't hit your palate right. To me, this is maple and spice, and I don't know. The ratios work well.
Yeah,
and I don't know, Dylan.
I think I'd say the reason why it's not really high was because the grain component comes in and out for me, and so because of that, the balance is not above a 7.
Because it's almost frustrating because there's other things here, and you kind of wish they just turned those up a little bit,
right?
And then it would really be bumping. But it's. Man,
but it's not
starting point.
So it's not unpleasant, right? So it's definitely above a 5.
Absolutely.
And I think it's superior to a 6 because they're juggling more things that they needed to. Like they could have gone straight up and said, you know what, let's just make this like those synthetic flavored Jack, right? Where they go, okay, we're just gonna like hammer this person with just vanilla flavors, and they could have easily done that. But, they took the time to say, oh, you know what? We're going to give you a breadth here, and we're going to try to balance that out with something that is affordable, right? Affordable and at a $30. I know. Look,
Jules is dying over here.
You know why? Because you know in your heart that you're wrong. That's why you're choking on.
I'm actually still just choking from how Dutch got me earlier.
No, you're choking on your own hypocrisy.
It's like
that's what's happening.
All right, guys, moving on to finish. Longer than I expected, but a little thin. 7.
7.
Thin. 6.
7.
No, but for length, I think you got to bump it up because I can still taste it. It's still there. The maple really does carry through the whole time. The spiciness
it does. I do agree with you there.
I had to give it the points due for that, for how long it lasted, and there was nothing off-putting in the finish.
Right.
It's all the good stuff.
That's true.
I'll go up. It's more vanilla in the maple.
So you're at a 7.
7.
All right. Agree. We all agree.
Make you happy.
Good.
All right, moving on to uniqueness 7.
I give it a 7.
Tempted to go up.
I mean, I gave it an
me too.
8. I gave it an 8
I can see
because
why.
I wrote
I almost went there.
vanilla that you see in that barrel proof. And I said, wow, for $30 for just kind of a regular production, right now it's a little hard to find because it just came out, but this is part of their permanent collection.
I think so. Yeah.
Right? And so if I looked on the shelf and there's no more, all like the whiskey nerds took all of the barrel proof, let's say, and you want something that's blended rather than a single barrel, right? And you're not going to touch the rye. Are you going to either go for like the crazy price Sinatra? Are you going to go for the Jack Gold? Or are you going to grab a $30 one that's an easy sipper, right? And I think that in that sense, I think they made a conscious decision about where this would fit in terms in the market, and I think it fits well. I think you would pick this if you were not going to mix it.
Well, so I mean, you raise an interesting point because our uniqueness category is kind of all encompassing. Right? Yeah, flavor wise, not super unique. I get what you're saying about the vanilla. Yeah, I read that more as maple on my palate.
Me too.
I honestly, I gave it the points to get to a 7 mostly because of the market side of it.
Same.
At this price point to get this
bonded,
kind of,
this proof, 100 proof,
and the bottle.
The bottle.
Wait, let me push back a little bit on the flavor. Okay, tell me. outside of Jack Daniels that comes close in terms of delivering the kind of the spectrum of flavors that this is providing.
It's decidedly Jack Daniels, but that doesn't make it unique.
But isn't what? What are you talking about?
It's not unique.
It's unique amongst
just tastes like
all
Jack
the
Daniels.
spirits that are available.
So you give everything that's Jack Daniels a bonus point just because it's Jack Daniels?
I think you're no. I think this is something that is different from the regular release, right? I think this is invoking and allowing folks to access the barrel proof flavor profile at a more affordable price point. Okay. I think this is something it might not be as refined as the Gold or the Sinatra, but I think it's a well-rounded release at a good price, and so that's why I thought it was unique.
Agreed.
And I don't think I can find
you keep having to qualify it with price, and that's my point. Is that you're mostly
You're not going to replace this with a Dickel release. You're not going to replace this with an MGP.
Again,
you're not going to release this. This is not going to compare to any of the Buffalo Trace releases. That's why the uniqueness goes up. You're talking about everything that's on the market. Even if I were to say, okay, you know what, I'm not going to take into account the non-first touch, the fresh virgin barrel, selections, whether it's in the United States or Canada. I mean, it's still unique amongst all the releases that are out there. You're not going to go somewhere and say, like, oh, I want this flavor profile.
I really want to stay at a 7 just to spite you, but I think you're right. I'm going to go up to an 8.
Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
He's right. He is right.
Yeah.
Jules, I said he's right.
Oh.
Moving on to drinkability. You guys may punch me for this, but I give it a 9. This is very drinkable.
I get it.
I get it, but I gave it a 6.
No, that's...
What?
No.
Dude, look at how much you drank. It is so drinkable.
It is.
You were sitting down watching a movie, and I brought this bottle out. We would kill the bottle. Like, this is so easy to sip on.
I'll go up to a 7.
Okay. I gave it, the drinkability, I gave it an 8. Okay? And the reason why it's not 9 or 10 is because I wrote it right here. If it wasn't for the finish, which was a little bit kind of thin.
Try it again.
Yeah, a little bit weaker.
It's weak.
Try it again.
No, it's there.
It's there.
But I want the well-rounded finish, right? Long, well-rounded finish.
you're right.
What I'm getting is like overwhelming vanilla sweetness, right? Yeah. And so if it wasn't for that, I would say drinkability is probably 9 or 10. I think for folks that don't focus too much on the finish and they just focus on like the initial flavor hit, the drinkability is going to be higher. Much like the Dutch.
This is exactly the kind of finish.
So the next category.
This is exactly the kind of finish that makes it drinkable. Everything that's left on the finish is pleasant sweetness. It leaves a good taste in your mouth. You're like, oh yeah, I could easily take another sip of this. I want to have another sip of this. I want to have another glass of this.
Fair point. I'll go up another point.
So what are you at?
8.
See? Dylan, you're really going to let Jules be the same score as you? Don't you agree it's a 9? Don't you think I'm
That's
more
not
right
going to convince him.
You know what? I almost changed it, but then I got a little bit of that young bitterness.
It's kind of thin.
I got a little bit of that young bitterness.
I understand it.
But I
understand it.
I'll stick at it.
I could easily sip on this, but let's move on to
But it hurt. It cut deep when you said you're like Jules. I said that's a little harsh there.
All right, let's move on to aesthetics. I really like this bottle design. I give it a 4. Whoa.
Off the rails, man.
Oh my god. It was just a sneeze, but how it happened?
Yeah.
Only Jules could pull something off like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I gave it a 4.
Let's see. Let me take a look at this again.
I gave it a 4.
I like it. I like the bottle a lot.
It's nice.
I think it's a great looking bottle. What'd you give it, Dylan?
I gave it a 3.
No.
I don't know. I like the labeling. I like that it's got a cork. I like the bottle design, everything about it. You know, I was actually...
Jack Daniels.
Did you show this part right here?
Yeah, I was looking at the Sinatra and actually thinking, it looks like kind of a little mini version of the Sinatra. And the Sinatra, I think, is another beautiful bottle. But, yeah, 4 for me. I like it.
Come on.
For a new offering for Jack Daniels to put a cork in it, to make the bottle look pretty cool. They got the embossed stuff on the back.
Yeah, you got me. Got it 4.
4? All right. Well, let's move on to value. $30. This was a 5 for me.
It's close. It was 4.
Gave it a 3.
$30.
I was kind of neutral on it.
I kind of get it because I was neutral at first too.
Yeah, because $30, you have a lot of things that you can choose, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the reason why I say it's a 3 is because I could imagine that there is a swath of drinkers, enthusiasts that just do not like Jack Daniel's base profile because of the maple charcoal. And so because of that, for them, the value is very low. And, if as a bourbon drinker, as a bourbon lover, I think, would I go after this, having tasted this? I think if I were to be very honest, I would still chase after the barrel proof. Because I think I can get all of that flavor profile.
Value is you're spending $30 for this, what you get here.
What you're getting inside.
And I'm thinking of
barrel proof, barrel select is $59.99.
You're not going to get it for
this.
That. You're
Is
gonna get it for
$30.
At least $60 to $70 for that.
$59.99. I saw it at a private liquor store. A
30.
prominent one where that liquor store.
$30.
Yeah, you have a point. It's not a 5, it's a 4.
Yeah.
It's not more than
It's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
It's not a 5. You're right. It's a 4. It's definitely a 4, though.
Yeah. It's at least.
In this market, to come out with something at this price that's actually this good.
From Jack?
Yeah, I agree. If this was $25,
Yeah.
they would have killed it.
Yeah.
Even and they might bring the price down. I mean, I could see them doing that.
Well, yeah. If it
25.
Gets,
I mean,
if it gets ubiquitous.
I mean, it seems weird that
Still a
we're
little hard to find.
nitpicking on like a couple dollars.
Yeah, but
here
at this
there.
price range, you
but
kinda
this,
have to.
you have to, right? So I think I agree with you. If this was a $25 release,
We'd all be giving it
and
fives.
it's right next to the regular Jack Daniel release,
Yeah.
this
Don't even bother
blows the
releasing
regular Jack Daniel's release
Absolutely.
away.
Not even close. I would
Yeah.
rather buy one of the, and it's only 700 milliliters, which we have to keep that in mind.
True.
So that's another great reason to go down for me
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
5 to a 4. Which I don't know if we pointed that out, but yeah, it is a little bottle. All right, guys, let's get our final tally. I did go down another point.
Guess I should double check my math.
Yeah, double check your math, guys. Whoa, a 139. That's not possible.
What number is that?
8. Did you ever use a digital clock? 18.
I was checking your math, so you
Looks
are
right.
correct.
Looks right.
Like, you should show like the viewers.
I think we have at one point. Because you
terrible
were
number.
criticizing me so
Yeah, I've
much.
showed Jules' cards before.
Exactly.
All right, guys, let's get our final tally. I ended up at a 76.
70.
76.
Oh, so we ended up exactly
Like
the same
the gas.
score, huh?
2 peas in a pod.
Which gives us our official Curiosity Public score for Jack Daniel's Bonded. Very impressive. 74.
Wow.
Hi ho Silva.
Well deserved.
Yeah,
Well deserved.
that's about right.
I mean, pleasantly surprised, I would say, about this release.
Agreed.
All right, guys, that's it. Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you guys think.
Like
in the
this is how
comments.
Jules writes the stuff here. Right here.
That camera's not on.
It's not working anymore. Anyway,
Here. All right.
tell us what you think in the comments below. Give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. Either way, just let us know. Subscribe for more videos from Curiosity Public. If you feel like you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private membership program here on YouTube. We are also on Patreon. We are selling t-shirts like that one. Or are we selling that one? I don't remember. Anyway, podcasts on major podcast platforms out there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Take care, yes.
Bam!
Excited to try this against the.
Let's do it. Oh, we need more glasses.